Kai and Trina race to save Drew, and the danger is very real. Oh, darlings, this first story is moving at a pace that is going to have you gripping the edge of your seat, because two young people who care about doing the right thing are about to walk into a situation that is far more dangerous than either of them fully understands. And the person waiting on the other side of that door is someone who has already proven she will go to extraordinary lengths to protect her secrets. Let us pick up exactly where things left off. Drew made his move. Quietly, desperately, with every bit of strength his recovering body could summon, he threw a medical bag toward Kai. A small gesture, an enormous statement. And Kai caught it not just physically but completely. He understood immediately what Drew was communicating. He understood that this was a cry for help from a man who cannot speak, who cannot walk, who has been trapped inside his own body while the person responsible for that imprisonment moves freely through the same house. When Kai instinctively suggested telling Willow, Drew's response was immediate and unambiguous. One word, communicated through the only language available to him right now.
No.
And Kai understood that too, because Kai already knew the thing that Drew was confirming. Willow cannot be the person who helps Drew out of this. Willow is the reason Drew is in it. So Kai did exactly what Drew silently asked him to do. He took the information he had come for, politely said his goodbyes, and left without giving anything away. He kept his face neutral. He kept his voice even. He walked out of that house carrying something enormous and doing his absolute best not to let it show. He did not entirely succeed. Because Willow is sharp. Willow has been managing this situation for months with the particular vigilance of someone who knows exactly how much is at stake if a single thread unravels. She saw something in Kai's energy as he left, a shift too small to name but impossible to miss for someone as attuned to threat as she is. And the moment he was gone, she turned on Drew. Now Kai is going to tell Trina. He has to, because he cannot carry this alone, and he should not have to. Trina already knows the truth about Willow shooting Drew. She has been holding that knowledge and feeling the weight of it. And when Kai brings her what he witnessed, the two of them are going to make a decision that is equal parts brave and potentially catastrophic. They're going to try to get Drew out. The risks are staggering, and the show is not hiding that. Entering that house without Willow's knowledge. Trying to move a man who is only beginning to recover his mobility. Doing all of this while a woman who has already shot someone twice and is currently running out of options watches the walls close in around her. What happens if Willow is already in that room when they arrive? What happens if she is holding something and they walk in at exactly the wrong moment? What happens if Willow, a congresswoman with authority and resources and a story that sounds more credible on the surface than two university students trying to explain themselves, turns the tables and frames their rescue attempt as something criminal? Every possible outcome of this plan carries enormous risk. And the two people taking that risk are doing it out of pure human decency. They want Drew to live. They want the truth to come out. And they are not waiting for someone else to make it happen. Sunny plots against Valentine, Liesel demands the truth, and a baby meets his father. Now, darlings, let us sweep across everything happening in Port Charles on what is turning out to be one of the most eventful days this summer has produced. Because we have got Sunny in a back room with Brick planning something very personal. We have got Liesel marching through that hospital with a fury that is not going to be quietly redirected. We have got Anna cornering Britt in a boiler room of all places looking for answers. And we have got a brand new baby boy about to meet his father for the very first time, interrupted, inevitably, by someone who absolutely cannot read a room. Let us start with Sunny. He called Brick in. And the assignment Brick is receiving this time has nothing to do with mob business or security or intelligence gathering. It is entirely personal. Sunny sits across from his most loyal operative and says the quiet part out loud. They need to find a way to get Valentine out of Carly's life. Just like that. Planned. Deliberate. The scheme taking shape in real time. Now, we have been down this road before. Sunny has already tried using information to change Carly's mind. Carly did not budge. She already knew most of Valentine's history and had made peace with it. So whatever Brick is being deployed to do this time, it is going to have to be something different. Something more active than just delivering a file of past mistakes. What that looks like, and how badly it is going to backfire. is the question Port Charles will be watching with enormous anticipation. Meanwhile, Liesel is at the hospital looking for Jocelyn, and she is not arriving with gentle questions and patient understanding. She is arriving with the fire of a mother who knows her son's name is being dragged through the mud by a story she knows is false. Cassius did not mastermind that cold fusion project. Cassius was manipulated into it. And Liesel is not going to stand quietly while the official record says otherwise. She is going to push Jocelyn. She is going to want to know why Jocelyn is going along with this lie. She may even consider marching straight to the WSB and demanding they correct the record herself, which, as anyone who has dealt with that organization knows, would be a genuinely dangerous move. Jocelyn, in the preview, is shown warning someone, telling them they do not want what they are considering. Trust me, she says. And if that warning is aimed at Liesel, it carries the full weight of someone who made a deal with the most powerful man in intelligence and understands exactly what that organization is capable of when pushed. In a completely different corner of the hospital, in a boiler room, because Anna, our super spy, is sitting across from Britt. Anna is gathering information about the cold fusion project, about Cassius, about everything that connects to her captivity and the mission she believes she is on. And Britt, who has her own complicated relationship with all of this, tells Anna something that stops her. We have a lot more in common than you think. That line is going to open a conversation that could genuinely change both women. And the possibility of Anna and Britt finding unexpected common ground in the middle of all of this is one of the more intriguing relationship developments this summer has quietly set up. And then, the moment that made everyone watching exhale with genuine warmth. Portia had her baby.
A boy.
With Jordan's help, in the end. Not entirely alone after all. And now Curtis walks into that hospital room. And Portia looks up at him and asks if he wants to meet his son. Curtis's face in that moment. That is Port Charles at its most human. A man who has been fighting through legal battles and personal heartbreak and complicated loyalties, standing at the threshold of something completely pure and completely new.
His son.
Here. Breathing. And then Isaiah walks in. Despite Stella, wonderful, sensible, add enough of this Stella, telling him clearly to give Portia and Curtis their moment. He does not listen. He interrupts. And baby Ashford gets a front row seat to the first blowout between the adults in his life. Welcome to Port Charles, little one. Jason is home, but not the Jason anyone expected. And now, darlings, we need to talk about Jason. Because he is back. He is home. And he is not what anyone was prepared for. Steve Burton walked back onto that canvas on Monday, and the first thing every fan noticed was that something was profoundly different. This was not a triumphant return. This was not Stone Cold striding back and ready to reassume his position. This was a man who had been through something that left marks, visible ones and invisible ones, and who arrived home quietly, escorted, carrying the weight of every single day he spent in that black site in a way that is impossible to miss. The plane ride home was not a relief. It was a gauntlet of flashbacks. Every turbulent memory of what was done to him in Jakarta, playing on a loop that he could not turn off. By the time he landed in Port Charles, he was already exhausted in a way that goes deeper than sleep can fix. He did not make an announcement. He did not show up at Sunny's or call Carly first. He went straight to Danny, quietly, without fanfare, because Danny is the reason he survived it. Danny is the person he thought about every single day. And the first thing he needed, more than anything else, was to see his son with his own eyes and know he was real. What we are watching with Jason this summer is something genuinely new for this character. The hardness that made him iconic, the controlled, unflappable, weaponized confidence that earned him the name Stone Cold, is still in there somewhere. But it is sitting underneath layers of something that nobody around him quite knows how to help him with yet. Trauma that has not been disclosed. Pain that has not been processed. A mind that spent months in darkness and is not entirely sure how to exist in the light again.
He is softer.
That is the word people keep reaching for. And for a character who has never been described that way before, softer is genuinely disorienting to witness, for the audience and for the people around him in Port Charles. He's going to want a different life now. Not the life that put him in that cell. Not the life that left Danny alone and frightened and reaching toward danger because it was the only way he knew to reach toward his father. Something quieter. Something safer. Something that puts Danny at the absolute center rather than somewhere in the orbit of everything else. Whether Port Charles, whether Sunny, whether Carly, whether the machinery of the life Jason has always lived, whether any of that lets him have the simpler existence he is reaching for is the question that is going to drive his entire storyline this summer. Jason Morgan is home. He is changed. He is healing. And watching him figure out who he is on the other side of everything that was done to him is going to be one of the most compelling and genuinely moving character journeys the show has ever attempted. Port Charles is alive with everything right now, darlings. Kai and Trina heading toward the most dangerous rescue attempt two young people have ever attempted in this city. Sunny plotting. Liesel demanding. A baby meeting his father for 30 seconds of pure joy before Isaiah ruins it. And Jason Morgan sitting quietly in his son's room, finally exactly where he should have always been. This summer is giving us everything. Every kind of story. Every kind of feeling. And we are here for every single moment of it.